Harper Audio presents The Abolition of Man by C.S. Lewis. Read by Douglas Gresham. Chapter 1. Men Without Chests. So he sent the word to slay, and slew the little childer, from a traditional carol. I doubt whether we are sufficiently attentive to the importance of elementary textbooks. That is why I have chosen, as the starting point for these lectures, a little book on English intended for boys and girls in the upper forms of schools. I do not think the authors of this book, there were two of them, intended any harm, and I owe them, or their publisher, good language for sending me a complimentary copy. At the same time, I shall have nothing good to say of them. Here is a pretty predicament. I do not want to pillory two modest practising schoolmasters who are doing the best they knew, but I cannot be silent about what I think the actual tendency of their work. I therefore propose to conceal their names. I shall refer to these gentlemen as Gaius and Titius, and to their book as the Green Book. But I promise you there is such a book, and I have it on my shelves. In their second chapter, Gaius and Titius quote the well-known story of Coleridge at the waterfall. You remember that there were two tourists present, that one called it sublime, and the other pretty, and that Coleridge mentally endorsed the first judgment and rejected the second with disgust. Gaius and Titius comment as follows. When the man said, "This is sublime," he appeared to be making a remark about the waterfall. Actually, he was not making a remark about the waterfall, but a remark about his own feelings. What he was saying was really, I have feelings associated in my mind with the word sublime, or shortly, I have sublime feelings. Here are a good many deep questions settled in a pretty summary fashion. But the authors are not yet finished. They add, this confusion is continually present in language as we use it. We appear to be saying something very important about something, and actually we are only saying something about our own feelings. Before considering the issues really raised by this momentous little paragraph, designed, you will remember, for the upper forms of schools, we must eliminate one mere confusion into which Gaius and Titius have fallen. Even on their own view, on any conceivable view, the man who says this is sublime cannot mean I have sublime feelings. Even if it were granted that such qualities as sublimity were simply and solely projected into things from our own emotions, yet the emotions which prompt the projection are the correlatives, and therefore almost the opposites of the qualities projected. The feelings which make a man call an object sublime are not sublime feelings, but feelings of veneration. If "this is sublime" is to be reduced at all to a statement about the speaker's feelings, the proper translation would be, I have humble feelings. If the view held by Gaius and Titius were consistently applied, it would lead to obvious absurdities. It would force them to maintain that you are contemptible means I have contemptible feelings. In fact, that your feelings are contemptible means my feelings are contemptible. But we need not delay over this, which is the very pons asinorum of our subject. It would be unjust to Gaius and Titius themselves to emphasize what was doubtless a mere inadvertence. The schoolboy who reads this passage in the Green Book will believe two propositions. Firstly, that all sentences containing a predicate of value are statements about the emotional state of the speaker, and secondly, that all such statements are unimportant. It is true that Gaius and Titius have said neither of these things in so many words. They have treated only one particular predicate of value, sublime, as a word descriptive of the speaker's emotions. The pupils are left to do for themselves the work of extending the same treatment to all predicates of value, and no slightest obstacle to such extension is placed in their way. The authors may or may not desire the extension. They may never have given the question 5 minutes' serious thought in their lives. I'm not concerned with what they desired, but with the effect their book will certainly have on the schoolboy's mind. In the same way, they have not said that judgments of value are unimportant. Their words are that we appear to be saying something very important, when in reality we are only saying something about our own.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?